Hey everyone! So I am very behind on my tags. I've been tagged quite a few times for various videos and I have been so far behind and just haven't gotten around to them with my other content and life and summer. But today I am starting to play the catch-up game and I am going to be doing the Deja Vu Tag. So hi, my name is Talia. I like books, I like bandanas. I'm so happy you're at my channel today. And today I'm gonna be doing, like I said, the Deja Vu Tag. I was tagged by both MJ at Reading This Life and by Dave and Olive over at Book Blather. So I thought it was high time that I get going and do this tag. So let's get right into it. The first question is, do you reread and how often? I do. I'm not against rereading. I will say at this point, I do not read very often. And the second question is, why do you or don't you reread? I would say there are so many books I want to read. I have so many stacks of books here that I'm dying to get to that it's just not a top priority at this point in time to read books. That being said, there are books I have reread, there are books I want to reread, so let's do some more questions and we'll get into that a little bit more. So question number 3, what have been your favorite books to reread? I will say my favorite books to reread have been the Harry Potter series. We just have book number 1 here. This is a story you can just read again and again. It never gets old. I cannot wait to read them with my children. I know Jillian was just talking about this on her Deja Vu Tag about how she reread these with her children, and that is something I'm so excited for. They're still a little young, but I've been through the whole series several times over the years and I will definitely be reading this with them and enjoying it. So yeah. Question number 4, what would you like to reread? So I went through my shelves and kind of thought, ooh, what sounds good to reread and what do I think I could benefit from rereading? I think all of these, so all of Khaled Hosseini's books I read quite a while ago. I remember them being very impactful, but I can't remember a lot of the stories. So I would love to reread these and just see, I don't remember when they came out, and probably 10 years out from them, at least from the first one. So I think I would really like to reread these again and see what else I can glean from them. Question number 5, what book do you predict will be so good that you will want to reread it? This is such a hard question because I don't pick up any books with the expectation that they're gonna suck. You know what I mean? Like all my books I'm like excited to read, hoping I love them enough to want to reread. So I kind of just picked something random for this one. I picked The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I have only read one Neil Gaiman book. It was Nevermore, and I would definitely reread that book. I really liked it. So yeah, I just thought this one is pretty short and has pretty good reviews and seems like it'll be good. So I'm just guessing that this will be one that I would like to reread. Question number 6, pick a book from your younger years that you would like to reread. So for this, I picked The Giver by Lois Lowry. I read this, I think in elementary school. It was a required read, either elementary or like early middle school. And I remember it being impactful. I remember there being an older man and a younger boy, and the older man's teaching, but I can't remember anything beyond that. So I would love to read that book and see what it's all about again and see if it's one that I would like to read with my kids as well. Question number 7, tell us a series or book that's so big or complex you need to reread again to understand. I would say fantasy, like the big chunker fantasy books probably fall into this category, although I have not read a lot of them. I know some Michael Crichton books. I feel the need to reread, especially certain sections because they're so scientific, to understand what's going on. One that I think is probably going to require a reread, just from guessing, is this chunker, The Name of the Wind. It's fantasy, it's huge. I'm planning to read it soon. So just books with big fantasy and depth of world and lots of characters and lots of different magical systems, I feel like are books that you can gain from reading over and over to understand more. So that leads us into question 8, which is there a type of genre that you think is best or worst to reread again? Fantasy, I definitely think is the best. The magic, the just like escapism that comes from fantasy books, I feel like can definitely not be taken away when you are reading it for the second time. It's funny, for worst, I would say thriller. A lot of people have said thriller, and I would agree. Once you know like the end of a thriller, I don't see a lot of benefit to reading it again. I also, initially, I thought memoirs. I was like, you know, once you know a person's story, like, do you really need to read the memoir again? But then I was thinking about certain memoirs that I want to read again. Like, for example, Jenny Lawson, Let's Pretend This Never Happened. That is the funniest memoir I have ever read, and I remember laughing out loud, and I definitely want to read that again. Also, Wild by Cheryl... I cannot remember her name now, but I'll put a pic up here so you can see it. Wild by Cheryl, which is where she hikes the Pacific Coast Trail. I feel like I could read that one again and get some enjoyment out of it too. So memoirs are off. Memoirs are good to reread as well. I think any like middle grade whimsical stories also are fun for me to reread. So yeah. Question number 9. Is there a book you liked more upon reread? Yes, I reread pretty recently actually. Oh, it's way down here. Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I loved this upon reread. I read it a long, long time ago, probably in high school, and then I just read it again last year, I think, and I just loved it. It was so good. So much better than the movies. If you have not read Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, just do it. It's so good. And it's scientific, but it flows pretty easily. And it's just a great, fun, immersive science fiction novel. So do it. Twice. Okay. Question number 10, is there a book you liked less upon reread? And I am gonna say no. I have not thought of one. So hopefully there won't be any. Hopefully if I read a book twice, I will like it both times, because that would be kind of sad to really like a book enough to want to reread it and then like it less and not want it anymore. So yeah. Question number 11. If you reread, let us know a book you would like to reread by the end of the year. So for this, I'm going to say Cutting for Stone by Abram Verghese. This I read for a book club probably 6 or 7 years ago, and I loved it. And I can't remember much about it. I remember generally there's a nun, and she ends up pregnant by way of a physician at the place where she's working, and then she ends up passing away in childbirth. The physician, for some reason, does not take care of the babies, so they end up growing up with foster parents, and it kind of just follows the story from there. And I remember it being such a good read. Abraham Verghese is a doctor, so I love when doctors write books, kind of like Michael Crichton, because like you can just feel their knowledge of medicine woven through, and you know that they, for the most part, know what they're talking about. And it was just such a touching story. So again, I can't remember a lot about it, so I'm excited to pick this up soon and read it again and see what I fell in love with. I remember reading this book for that book club. It was kind of the first time I had read a big novel in a while, and just being like, oh, I love reading, and I love the way this made me feel, and I want to read more. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to read this one again. Okay, question number 12, tag some friends. So I am going to tag Bandana Silverscribe. I love her channel. She does mostly fantasy books, and her channel is just so fun to watch. I love her like little special effects. Like, she's kind of a newer booktuber like me, so I'm always like, oh, how'd she do that? How can I figure out how to do that? And her personality is just wonderful. I love watching her videos. Every time she posts one, I'm like, yes, it's time to watch another one. So highly recommend, if you do not know Bandana, go ahead and check out her channel. I will link her below. I also am going to tag Eliza from Eliza's Bookshelf. She's newer to BookTube as well. I really like her channel. She does great book reviews. She has great energy, so definitely check out her channel as well. Both of these ladies have also tagged me in different tags that I have not done yet. So ladies, I promise I'm getting caught up. My tags are coming soon. So that is all that I have to share with you today. Deja Vu Tag checked off the list. I hope you enjoyed and learned some more about my reading habits. Yeah, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Take some time today, relax, take a little break for yourself, read a good book or two. And as always, if you are having a bad hair day, just wear a bandana. Bye.